Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you all are having a wonderful day today. I hope that you've been enjoying my channel. I know that I do not upload all the time, however, because I'm still busy. I'm doing so many different things, guys, and I'm going to be occupied for most of this month and next month. But I will sporadically pop on and do a couple videos or upload some things that I have already done. Guys, I want to talk with you about the importance of not coming down. Don't come down from, let's just say, the mountaintop. Don't come back from your place of growth. Don't come down from your place of progress. And that really includes who you associate yourself with, where you go, who you're going to be in a relationship with, a friendship with, just even where you go where you decide to worship. You have to be so mindful of that. And sometimes we take those things for granted. We think some things are not a big deal. I'm just here having fun, or my friend referred this to me, or I'm just hanging out. But every moment of our life counts and matters. I'm not saying that you always have to live your life in great anticipation and worry, but guys, have a purpose. When you are maturing and when you are growing and when you are improving, don't come back down. When you have reached a place where you have your peace, don't go to places and don't be around individuals that's going to shake that's going to test it. When you have been mended and you have been healed, don't go back and don't go around toxic people. Don't go around argumentative people. Don't go around vindictive people. Don't go around people who all they want to do is curse and drink and smoke and act up and talk about people, and then when you're not, they want to attack you. Just don't do it. I recall just being told I was just really checking out some things because I'm taking some classes and doing a few things and just really observing and looking at different things. And one of the things that I do as a part of the course I'm taking is just like social experiments and checking different things out and looking at things, and just me on a whole. I will see, well, what's going on, what is this, providing that it's nothing that's just brazen and crazy. And what I realized with people, and especially teens, and it just really shook me, even though I do realize that teens today are very different, is just how they're almost vile. Children today, with the exception of those who have been raised right and all of that, or they may not have had the best beginnings, but they want to do better. For the most part, I find children today and teens today, it's like they are dark. They're almost demonic. These children, the way they talk, the way they interact, the way they address one another. I mean, girls who are like fourth and fifth graders talking about their boyfriend and talking about kissing and all these different things and just cursing. Or another part of that is that they're so depressed. They have so much going on. They have this heaviness. And you're wondering, how is it that this child is so young and they're depressed and they are sad and they're just talking about all kinds of the worst things that's going on in their lives? And I was like, wow, and I understand that family dynamics could contribute to that, can cause a person to feel let down, to feel despondent. I get that. But a lot of stuff that they were talking about was so trivial. And you're like, wow, And then, of course, just fast. These girls, I'm like, they're talking about just stuff that you think a fourth or fifth grader should not even be thinking about or talking about. And then the profanity, the way they talk, they just cursing. Their jokes are so crass. Their jokes are so just bucket levels. And these are children. This is the future. These individuals are going to grow up and become adults and begin to run the plains of the earth. We're going to run into them. And it was just really interesting. And I just remember as I was observing and just listening to a few things and everything, just the you want to say like almost the spirit of those individuals just can just irk your very core. Okay, it could make you react if you don't listen to that. And I know, like, I'm just it's like these kids talking and stuff like that. It's like, child, y'all still wet behind the ears. Y'all don't know. You understand? But then you, of course, as an adult, or just listen to that stuff, these children, it's almost as if they're sent to be uh provocateurs. Okay, so it's like a lot of children today, I'm talking about kids right now, but they come with a spirit to antagonize you. You see what I'm saying? So it may be someone in your neighborhood, it could be someone that you're living with, working with, or someone that you see on the streets. It could be a student in school, for those of you who works with the schools. And what they are doing is, these children are so disrespectful, and they're so rude, and they're so crass, and they know no boundaries, that they're going to speak to an adult any way. And it's like they come to antagonize you. They come to try to get under your skin, and then now you react to them and you bust them upside the head or whatever. Now you're in trouble. Now your life is over. Well, to some degree. Now you're going to go to jail. You're going to lose your job. And it's time, I would think, just even with schools and educators, you can't let anybody bring you down from where you are as an adult. As an adult, you cannot allow anybody, any child, to bring you down from where you are, And some things you got to pray about it and seek God about it. And, in my opinion, even teachers, y'all need to stand up together and do what you want to do, because look, if there's a strike and y'all not there, they need you. Okay. But something needs to happen, because these children are getting these levels where they are beating the teachers, they're threatening the teachers, and nobody's doing anything, because there's this rule. Oh, if you touch the child, if you try to stop them, all of a sudden something's going to happen to you. So it's almost as if children or these teens have become they can set the perfect trap. They've come to bring you from the place that you have worked. You've been alive longer than they've walked this earth, but they come to behave in this way and antagonize you and threaten you and do these things and showing up in your front yard and messing up your stuff. And they're doing these things. It's like for you to come down from where you're at, right? Because in reality, they're no match. You come down, you know what it's going to be about. And some of you may be facing that in these areas with children or people in your household. And it's like, don't leave. Don't get off from that level where you are. Don't come down. It's a trap. I say the same thing, of course, in personal relationships. There are just some people, they are just there to antagonize you and bring you down to their level. And you know what? When you think about how you feel, when you have that moment where someone got the best of you, they kept provoking you and kept talking, so you may have said something back, or you argued back with them, or you were just as nasty to them as they were to you, and you may have won, or you didn't, or it was a tie, or they are like, oh, I thought you were Christian, I thought this or that. Those are the things I'm talking about. When you step down from where you are in the Lord and where you are in your growth, and you go to their level, it feels really disgusting. It's like you stepped in some hot dog poo. It's disgusting. It's been a long time since that's happened to me, but I remember as a little kid stepping in some, and it was so disgusting. You don't even want to take the shoe home with you, and no matter how much you're trying to clean, it's just messy and it's spreading and it's stinking. And if I am not mistaken, I think my grandmother did not even let me keep those shoes. I think she threw them away, because when you step in some hot manure, that stuff, even when you wash it, it lasts. Because it's just it's just disgusting. It's compiled of so many things. And that's the same thing that happens when you step out of yourself and people bring you from where you were. And now you're behaving and you're reacting in a way, because now you got to suit up just in case you need to cuss somebody out, just in case you got to check them real quick, just in case you find like you have to get sarcastic again. You find you get into your old self where you may have to, punch somebody in the chin real quick, or just do something vindictive, or say something, or you have the power as a boss or as someone in charge to do something to really change a person because of how they're making you feel, in the sense of you can do something to either mess up their schedule or make them or lose their leave form. When you're in charge, the things that we can do when we're in charge and running a place is very different from somebody not showing up to work. Someone could just not show up to work because they don't feel like it, but you're the boss. You have the power to make them have a very long vacation. Okay, if you're doing your paperwork right, okay, you didn't show up for work, someone else could get your job, and I'm still going to be the boss. You know what I mean? So, but sometimes, guys, you may be with someone that's taking you to that place, to this low area. And when you react and when you maybe even think of some things, it leaves you for a while feeling really down about it, maybe, or you feel guilty about it. But I want to encourage you, and you need to understand, you have to ask yourself, how did I get here? How did I get here? And a lot of times you took your sweet little butt right into that situation. There would have been things that God would have been telling you from the jump, from the get-go. Don't do this, don't do that, don't have that conversation, don't get into this relationship, don't entertain this person, don't hang around these people. This is not where you're supposed to be. But what do? Sometimes we just want to see. Sometimes we just want to do. Sometimes you're afraid to leave a place that God is putting in your heart you need to leave. Okay? Because sometimes before things crescendos and stuff gets really bad, the Lord will be showing you. And He's showing you little things. You may probably were not even supposed to work in this particular place, or this school district, or this job, or to get into a business venture with certain individuals, get married, be engaged, date, hang out with certain people. But sometimes our own desires can overtake and cause us to reason and rationalize what God is saying no to. And when you do that, what's going to happen is you run the risk of being toppled right down from where God placed you or where you were headed. Because when you start to grow in God, a lot of times you may think it's not a big deal. You don't think much of yourself, maybe. And not in the sense of you having low self-esteem, but you're just not really seeing how you've grown. You're not seeing yourself. You're just thinking, oh, it's just me. But people who are in darkness, they can see something different about you. They can see that you don't curse. They can see that you're not as reactive. You're not the same as you used to be. You're not as impulsive. You're not doing the same things they used to do. And that bothers them sometimes. And because you're sitting there just having a conversation while they're cussing and carrying on, and you're able to keep your conversation G-rated, it bothers them. And if you stay around them long enough, what's going to happen is they're going to bring you down. They're just going to bring you down. You may be with someone and you're trying to maintain your celibate, but they're going to try to bring you down to talk you out of that and talk to you and tell you how ridiculous it is to be thinking that way. And they may bring you down to their level. They may cause you to fall. Well, I'm not going to say they cause you to fall. You cause you to fall. So you go, you do whatever you want to do, but then afterwards you feel like just, right? You're going to feel bad about that. Someone may push you to the point where you curse them out. You tell them off. Or you do something vindictive to someone. Okay? You're a business owner. You're a boss. You're a supervisor. There are lots of little things that's at our fingertips to do. And you may have done that. And so when you're at this low level, you do one or two things. You immediately feel bad about it and you ask God to forgive you, or you feel bad about it, but in order to cover it, you're going to now justify it and say how the person deserved it. And yeah, they might have deserved it, but you weren't supposed to do that. You understand what I'm saying? And then, of course, as I say, some people, they're sent to just push you down. They want you to step out from the high place. You see, they can't come up where you are, so they want you to step out from the high place, and you got to go down there to their little area, to their little place, take their phone calls, listen to them. Okay, stepping from the high place to the low places may not necessarily mean that you're literally walking there. Sometimes you're just picking up the phone and going there. Sometimes you just turn on the television or turn on your monitor and going to the low places. Sometimes you're going to places, again, physically going to places and around people, or opening your doors and letting in individuals who are not on the same level as you are. And you're going to know what they're like, because they're just going to be just talking a certain way, behaving a certain way. And when you listen, it's going to, if you know, when you have the Spirit of God, you're going to just feel it like in your chest or something, or in your throat, a tightness, just a discomfort. When you're around these individuals and you feel absolutely uncomfortable, or you have to be out of character to fit in, or for the most part, you just feel a weight, a discomfort with them. No matter how much you're trying to joke and talk to them, you feel this heaviness. Well, that's because you're in a place that's dark. That's why you feel the way that you do. That's why the conversations are forced. That's why it feels unnatural, because you're not supposed to be there. And what you're feeling is you're discerning what's there. You're discerning what you really can't see, but a lot of time it's the heart and the intentions of these individuals, the spirit that follows them around, the negativity, the darkness that is around them, that they're used to. They're comfortable and they're laughing, but to you this is foreign. Well, guys, because sometimes we're coming from the places on high and going into the low place, peeking in. Let me see what's going on in there. Let me see what's going on over there. Some things, guys, you have to just stay away from it. You have to let it go. Relationships where that man or woman is taking you down these dark places and to behave in ways that you have long walked away from, or never have behaved that way before, get out of it. Some people are sent in your life to send you toppling down back to the old you, back to the you never were. And so you have to stay up. You have to stay on high. And sometimes it's hard to do it. It's hard to do it in a world where everybody's saying, what's wrong with you? This, what's wrong with you? We're chilling. We're having a good time. But then when you really, really look at it, it's not such a great time. It's people talking about other people. It's people that's sad all the time. It's people that's trying to find somebody to talk about so they can feel better about themselves. It's people that's trying to get over on individuals, toxic environments, things of that nature. And everybody is just conditioned to, well, this is life and this is what we have to deal with. But not so. So some things that you may experience, some things that we may go through, some disappointments and hurt and pain and things that may come up, sometimes, guys, it is a result of the fact that you've gone off. You've walked out of the secret place of the Most High. You have moved from under the shadow of the Almighty. You have left the secret place. You have left the sacred space. And now you're walking around and looking at things and going, oh, hey, I'm just stopping by. I'm just looking. And then they get a hold of you. Because now what are you? You're in their territory. You're in their space. You're in their domain. This is where they thrive. But if it's the other way around, they're in your space, okay, where you are saying this is how it's going to be. Where the Spirit of God dwells, a lot of times people are not going to want to do that. One or two things happen. They come, they're going to act up, right, because they're uncomfortable. So what they have to do, they have to take you out of position so they can have control whether it's through manipulating, gaslighting, all the things that some people like to do, or they're just not going to come at all. So just think about that. I don't want you to dwell on the situation. I don't want you to keep dwelling on the mistake that you made. I don't want you to dwell so much on that, because that's the thing. When you do something wrong, you dwell, you think about it. And sometimes it plays in your mind, and you think what you should have said and could have said, and why did I say that? Or, oh, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I agreed to that. You understand? I can't believe I allowed myself to go this far. Why? Well, a lot of times if you ask those questions of why, you can go and do a play-by-play of how you got to where you are. And the only thing that I can tell you right now is, if you mess up, you ask the Lord to forgive you. Like, not just that flippant, forgive me, so you can go back and do it again. But also, just keep yourself clean. What do I mean by that? I'm not talking about physical cleanliness, which that's a good thing as well. But keep yourself out of those things. Get back to where, go get up there and sit in those high places. Go to that place where God has you. Get back to that level. It's not, you haven't lost it. The enemy will make you feel like you've lost it so you don't go back. But go right back there, okay? And stay in there. Don't ever come down to the low down, dirty shame valleys and end up in these. Stop taking those phone calls. Stop going to meet with these people. Stop allowing these people to gather in your house. Stop doing those things. And some places, you may want to go work there because the money is good, but maybe that's not where God wants you. Some of you, you're somewhere and God doesn't want you to be there anymore. Now, I will say, be careful. Don't just jump and you hear this message and you go, oh, confirmation. Because it may not be for you. So you have to really, don't just let a video push you to make any decisions, but really pray and seek God. Ask God to maybe show you something, give you an indication, a sign. Lord, show me this, answer this, something really complex. Lord, if this is not what you want, please allow someone someone I don't know to do X, Y, Z. Of course, nothing crazy, right? And believe me, the Lord will bring you the message. And a lot of times what's ironic about it is that when he gives you the sign and he gives you that message, you forgot about it. And all of a sudden, you're going to realize 2 weeks later, you're sitting there getting ready to eat and you go, oh my gosh. Or you're getting ready to doze off and it pops in your head, the Lord gave me a sign. Right? So guys, all I want to tell you right now is stay where God has placed you. Don't come down from there. Don't allow people to bring you down. Watch out for antagonistic type of people, unhappy people, people that want to argue. Some people want to argue with you and start a fight. Some people, they'll take someone's life. They want to get into an argument with you, so they have a reason. I think I saw something not too long ago. I want to say this recently happened, but there have been this ongoing brawl between these neighbors. And if I am not mistaken, I could be wrong, but the person who had been harassing the other person, I guess, again, was provoking. And then the person who had been getting abused and being disrespected came over to the door for whatever reason, and the woman shot her and killed her through the door in front of her child. Okay, I think her child was somewhere, but she killed the woman. She's been arrested, but will she be charged? There's all kinds of all kinds of potato stuff that goes on with the law sometimes. Okay, but I don't think stand your ground is really gonna cut it. Okay, but I don't know. But my point is, there are people who their whole goal, they are so dark. There are people who don't mind going to prison. There's some people who's been there and they long to see their friends again. There's some people who they're tired of trying to to live and be responsible. They don't mind going back to prison. They're very comfortable there. They get to eat and chill or whatever. They don't mind. They will antagonize you so that you can react and they can respond by taking your life. There are people that's like that at school. To those who are young, they want to start something and keep things going so that they can destroy you, because these people are unhappy. They've reached this place, the Bible talks about they're brute beasts. They're quick to shed innocent blood, whether it's through gnashing of teeth, talking about you, physically harming you, antagonizing you, doing all these different things. And we have just got to get into a place of prayer and asking God to help us and to show us how to navigate in these times. Because it's not always going to be bless the Lord and walking away. Okay? But at the same time, you can't have an all-out brawl either. So how do we balance this? Number one, guys, I believe that we have to be prayerful. We have to get back to a place of prayer. We have to sometimes deny our flesh and fast, even if it's, an hour, 30 minutes, until you can build on that. And ask God to help you and to show you how to navigate in this life and in this world. And believe me, we have to put God at his word. Take him at his word when he says, I will recompense. I will take care of. I will deal with whoever tries to come against you. And that if you do need to engage with someone and things are happening, that God is in the midst of that and not your flesh. But guys, I just want to end this video by telling you, don't let people bring you down. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to those individuals. And these individuals are not just at your job or out, on the streets or wherever. You're going to find them in the church as well. And you have to be very careful, because they are very hard to detect, because they're hiding behind religion. But you got to know there's a difference between religion and the Spirit of God. Don't stay in places where they're playing games with you. You do not have to keep going to churches where they're playing the church reindeer games, the church Olympics. You don't have to be going to places where there's this game between who's going to sing and who's not, who's going to do this, who's not. You don't have to put up with those type of things of no one's telling you when things are going to start, or they're telling you an hour later and they already started and all this stuff in the games. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to keep going to places where you can't share and you can't share your knowledge, because people are going to say you're trying to take over. They want to bring you down. And how do they bring you down? By keeping you. You want to put you want to put a cover over your light. You want to muzzle yourself. You're going to squelch all the knowledge in you and keep quiet and just sit there because you want to be accepted. But not so. Don't let anybody pull you down. And don't come down from where you are to go no place. Don't go back to people. It sounds good. Someone is talking to you and making you think everything's going to be okay. Move back home. Come back. Oh, you're going to get a house. Won't you move in our neighborhood? Won't you do this? Won't you come back? Things are different now. No, it's not. It isn't different. Don't go back. Don't go back. Don't go back from where you came. Don't go the same path you came. Don't turn around. Don't turn around. Don't go back. Don't go back down. Don't return to that relationship. This person is calling you. She's calling you. He's calling you. It's going to be better. It sounds good. It may feel good. But it's not. It's a trap. For some of you, it's a trap to bring you back to this place. And whatever they didn't get to do, when God pulled you out of that hole, when God pulled you out of the snare of the enemy, you go back. It's going to be worse. They're going to get to finish the job. Some of you don't need to go back to that old relationship. Don't matter how much he's crying or she's crying. Don't do it. Don't reconcile with certain people. I may be able to say it's all good, but it doesn't mean that you are in my life. You have to understand that about forgiveness. Forgiveness does not always mean access. And the reason why that is, it's not because you're a bad person, but a lot of times they're bad people. They're still a certain way. They will destroy you. They will take a chance on you and do things that would really change your life, break up your marriage, your relationships, cause you to lose your job, cause you to lose your mind, cause you to self-harm, cause you to hurt others, bring someone in your life that can hurt you because of things that they've been lying to them and saying. And especially if someone is a liar, don't fool with them. One of the most dangerous things next to murderer is a liar, a person who stirs up strife and causes problems and cause division among individuals. You can't afford it. And when God opens doors for you, and he takes you and you begin to elevate you, and he gives you that job and he gives you that business, you are not obligated to hire your cousin from round the block. You are not obligated to hire someone just because your pastor says this person needs a job. You are not obligated to let the old crew come and look into your new place. You need to keep silent when you're moving. People need to know you're about to get a house and you're about to get a car and this is going on, because you will bring those individuals who have that negativity on them, who have the unclean spirits, the darkness, they are jealous, they are backbiters, and as soon as you involve them, you're going to see things start to change. You begin to see how the blessings and the things that you are getting, it begins to change. Don't go down. God may be moving you out of the country. He may be moving you away from certain things. And the relationship is ending. And all of a sudden, they're trying to do the good old okie doke again. And you might be thinking about it. You're finally healed and you've been restored and you're not hurting anymore. You're not crying anymore and you moved on. You got over her. You've got over him. And here they come. Trying to see how you're doing. Giving you that, hey. Commenting on your liking your comments. Whatever that they're doing. Trying to DM you. Hey. No. No, hey. It's yeah, I know who you are. Not H-E-Y, hey, but Y-E-A. Yeah, I know there should be an A, but we're going to say yeah. Yeah, I know who you are, and we're not going to go there. You see what I'm saying? It's a journey for all of us, guys. Ups, downs, highs, and lows. But in it all, let's stay rooted and grounded in the Lord. Let's allow him to take us through the process. And don't go in dark places. Don't go in places where people have the opportunity to disrespect you. Don't go in places where people have the opportunity to say things against you and do things and approach you in a way that is wrong and in a way that they would not do were you elsewhere. But because you're in their territory, because you are now vulnerable and in their space, they're free to act out however they want to. All right, guys. Hope this makes sense. God bless.